let's make sure this works. All right, cool. Welcome, guys. Been a long day. We're still rolling. So thanks for everybody for being here. We are super close, guys. We are going. We have started selling. Carter Northrop is out on the doors. He's got 3 sales already, and starting Monday we'll have be launching 4 more teams. So we are rolling. So it's exciting. Be on Slack. Check your Slack every day. Make sure you have that app set up. We still have a few people that still haven't set it up. So please make sure that you're in there. We're sending messages on a lot of stuff like housing and getting our knocking gear ready. We get all your badges printed. We'll be picking up your knocking gear here if you're local. So anybody leaving between now and May 1st, we've got a bag for you ready already back there, most likely. So please grab that tonight. And if you have friends on your team that don't live here and you see their bag, grab it. That'd be awesome if you could get that to them, especially if you're driving through an area. Upcoming events. This Saturday we have our Parker's Underdog Wealth Academy. That was stands for real estate meetup. We're gonna be number 2. We did the first one last Saturday, so I'll be 9 a.m. here at the office. So take advantage of that opportunity. This next Wednesday, the 2nd, we'll be training in Cedar City. I think that's the last one in Cedar.
Yeah, that is.
And Rexburg is already done because pretty much everybody that's doing those trainings is gonna be selling.
Yeah, and we get out. Rexford gets out of school in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So
those guys are gonna be selling too. So next time we meet here for training will be April 9th. And we'll have a whole new batch of bags for people that night. So if your bag's not out back here today, it probably will be next time. Especially if you're leaving in the month of May. That's right? 12th will be the next meetup.
yes,
For the real estate.
Yep, I'll be gone the first week of April.
So we're gonna skip a Saturday on the real estate thing and we'll be back again on the 12th. And then we have a really cool event coming up April 16th. We do a lot of these personal development events in the fall, but this is one that we're gonna be doing here in the spring. So Doug Cartwright, you wanna say a little bit about that?
Yeah, so he runs a sales coaching business called Alchemy. I think they're called Alchemy Coaching or something, but they're way legit. This will be like sales focused, mindset focused for summer. Even if you're out in market, I try to kind of make sure you watch the recording. It'll be really good stuff. Awesome. He worked at Vivint back in the day, was kind of like one of the OG really awesome reps at Vivint, and then he spun off a coaching business and he coaches a lot of really high level door-to-door sales reps. So it's kind of a cool time of year to go do that before a lot of our teams head out and launch. So try to be at that.
Perfect timing. Yeah, awesome. Okay. A few items on the operations side. This is my world, so I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So a few software systems that we're going to start to get integrated and get everyone set up on. Pest routes and field routes. So the company that we use for our sales is called Field Routes. They have an app called Pest Routes that we use for all of our sales entry on the doors. You will most likely be using both of these apps this summer. So get familiar with both of them, get them downloaded on your phone. I will be getting logins for people as you get closer to your time, your sales start date. But just make sure you have those apps downloaded. Sequify is a new software we're using this year. This is a big shift for us. We're going to be going away from Gusto, which is our HR software. You guys probably already set up your Gusto account because that was our standard onboarding process until about a month ago. So as of April 1st, we're moving to this Sequify. This will be a web-based software, so you'll just log in through your browser. There's not an app yet, but it will be the way that you access all of your commissions, payroll, stubs. We'll also have our universal leaderboard on there. So our old site, for those that have sold before with us, the old data.pointpros.com, that dashboard will be gone and everything will be done through Sequify. So it's gonna be some huge improvements with this. One of the biggest deals is that you'll be able to see your pay in real time. As you sell throughout the summer, you'll see exactly what you've earned, which has never been available before. So that's gonna be really cool. And then KPI tracking, we're gonna do the same thing as we did last year with, every team will have a sheet where we can track our daily KPIs, and this is a really cool way to gamify a little bit what you're doing on the doors and keep track of your stats so that you can set goals, improve along the way, and it also gives your manager a bit visibility into how it's going for you. If you're finding a tough spot where you're not getting past a certain point in the pitch, he'll be able to see that and then help you get past it. So this is really good information and data for us to have. But more than anything, it just helps you track your progress. So I'm gonna show that in a second and show you guys what we need to do for that. And of course, you need to be in stock. So I'll keep saying that until I die. Badge photos. We have been, thank you everybody for getting me your photos. We've gotten most of your photos, which is awesome. But we still do have a few more, so I'm gonna call some people out. Because I have to. I'm sorry. I can only ask so many times. So the following people have a start date between now and May 1st or early May. And I still don't have your badge photo, which means I've printed everyone else's badge around you.
Should we boo them as their name comes?
Maybe. Ashton, Ben, Brandon, Caden, Charlie, Chase, Colin.
Brandon, boo.
Christian, Dylan, Ethan, Hannah, Jamie, Joseph, Kevin, Max, Michael, Mike, Seth. Yeah. Okay, if you're on that list, please send me your badge photo today. And if you're like, I don't know what photo to send, I don't care. I just need to print a badge. All right, love you guys. All right, let's talk about this. Dial it back. Here we go. So I mentioned the KPI tracking. This is what this is gonna look like. So every rep will have a tab on your team KPI dashboard
Hey,
sheet
listen up, listen up.
with your name on it. Okay, it's gonna look like this. This is where you're gonna track your daily sales, doors knocked, talked to, how much, inspections, hours knocked, first door, last door. And then you're required to enter that data in at the end of each day. First of all, by doing that, it's just like a budget or like tracking your calories. Just by doing this, you guys are going to improve because you're gonna see what you're doing and you're gonna be more cognizant of where you're getting hung up and you're gonna be able to work on it. But this will also give your manager visibility into what you're doing. In order to qualify for your team dinner goal at the end of the week, you have to have this totally filled out. If you're missing a column, if you're missing a day, then you don't get your dinner goal money. So please do it. In order to get this information, you need to be tracking what you're doing during the day. And so for that, just get a simple counter app like this. This is just called Counter. It's an iPhone app. You can set up your custom categories. And then all you do is you just tap that category every time you knock a door and you count it. Okay. And then every time you get first downs, talk to somebody, you got how much, you're going to track that on your app. And then throughout the day, at the end of the day, you'll have those numbers. So find a system that works for you. This is what we recommend. Some people write it down on paper. That works for them. Some people have a different, like the Notes app or something, whatever works for you. Prepare yourself mentally to track your daily behaviors. I promise you, if you do this, you will improve just by tracking. And then your manager will be able to see on average what everybody's doing. And then in correlation the next morning, they can say, hey guys, I noticed that this is something we need to work on as a team. Let's train on this. Your meetings will be way more effective. So just a little bit of a breakdown on the logistics of what we're going to be having you do during the summer. And we want to show you that we do provide some tools for you to succeed. You're not just on your own. All right. Real quick review of our incentives this year. This is important because we want you guys to know what Point's doing to help motivate you and provide awesome opportunities to earn bonuses and prizes. So the first incentive we're doing is our Fast Start. This is the first 4 weeks that you're on the doors, no matter when you start. You have an opportunity to earn P-Cash, which is points basically you can redeem for prizes throughout the summer by doing different behaviors. And this is primarily designed to help you kick off your summer with the right habits and behaviors that will bring success the rest of the summer. So it's things like knocking a certain number of doors, getting up at a certain time, making sure that you're taking care of your body and your mind and doing things that are gonna keep you strong and focused the entire summer. So first 4 weeks, and there's a scooter program attached to this. So after you've got, if you get sick, once you get to at least 16 sales in that first 4 weeks, which is an average of 4 per week minimum, you qualify to pledge those P-Cash points for a scooter so you can use it on the doors or a Segway. So that's just a little opportunity we provide that allows you guys to get on wheels, which is gonna help you sell better. So basically you're using your own money with that, but you're pledging the P-Cash you're gonna make the whole summer ahead of time and committing to spending that on the scooter. If you don't earn enough P-Cash, then the price of the scooter just comes out of your back end check. Either way, you get the scooter up front so you can use it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So is the P-Cash goes to the scooter or your money from the sales goes to the scooter?
If you earn enough P-Cash, it's P-Cash. If you don't earn enough P-Cash, it comes out of your check.
Or you're basically pledging your future P-Cash points that you're gonna be earning in the summer to the scooter. And if you have enough P-Cash in the summer, then you won't have to come out of pocket
Oh,
with any of your
you're
own.
just giving out
money.
the scooter early.
That's right.
It's like you're calling your shot that
Yeah,
you
bet
think
on
you're gonna earn it.
Yeah, you're betting on yourself that you're gonna get enough P-Cash
Yeah.
to pay for the full, which a lot of people will.
Yeah.
P-Cash stand for Parker Cashers.
No, I wish.
And if you don't earn enough, if you do earn the P-Cash, then basically we don't give you the points, we just keep track of it and then you have the scooter and it counts us out. 10 to 10 club. This is our incentive club for daily, weekly, and monthly achievement. So we'll have a whole bunch of prizes that we're going to announce between now and middle of April. But this is the rookie and the veteran number to hit this tier. Okay, so if you get the 10 to 10 day, you're in the prizes associated with that. Rookies, it's 8 in a day. Vets, it's 10 in a day. Week is 25 and 30. Month is 75 and 100. So we're going to be doing some cool stuff this year that's brand new, where you're going to be able to earn not just the prizes, but also kind of a unique. There's going to be a hat that everyone will get, and then you can up like your patch and stuff. It's kind of cool. We'll explain it later. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's exciting. The cruise, we have a cruise incentive. At the end of the year, after everyone's done, anybody that earns rookies 85,000 in active revenue, vets 100,000 in active revenue, will be invited to the cruise. Monthly incentives we have. This is new. We have an average contract value incentive that we're going to be doing. It's a rolling monthly incentive. The person on your team, and this is cool because this rewards your value, the quality of your sale, how valuable your total contract value is. So if you're selling really good business, but you're like, man, I sell the best sales, but I'm not necessarily the top rep on my team in quantity, then you'll still get credit for that. So the top rep on each team in contract value will be awarded a prize at the end of each month. We do a full-blown P-Cash incentive in June, which is just like we talked about with Fast Start, but there will be behaviors that entire month that you'll get points for. So just different things that we like to reward. So it might be late sales after 8 p.m. or it might be doors knocked or Saturday hours or whatever. Like different things that we focus on will allow you to earn some P-Cash. That's a month-long program. July, our monthly incentive is Point Madness. This is a bracket that we pair everyone up head to head and then you advance in the bracket just like March Madness. And then there's prizes as you get to each round.
Okay.
Yeah. Sweet 16. Point Cup is a team competition that we do in August. That will be one team against another team. So you work together as a team to get to win. And then our top producers trip is our top 10 rookies and top 10 vets get to go on a trip that we will be doing this year in November. So that's just a quick rundown. We're obviously going to be sending a lot more details on each of these as we roll them out. But we wanted to give you kind of a high level vision of all of the different opportunities that we're going to be providing to help you guys succeed. And then team dinner is a weekly incentive that each team runs. You set a goal at the beginning of the week. If your team hits the goal, and you all get to go out to dinner on the company on Saturday night. All right, our sales teams, we have our map here, we got 4 teams in the Palisade footprint, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Alabama. We have a Virginia and Delaware teams in Frontline, and the Ohio team will be selling for Frontline in Tennessee a little bit at the beginning of the summer. And then we have a team up in New Hampshire for Anchor. 4 clients, 8 teams, 10 states, 200 reps. And we're gonna have the majority of our teams launched and selling in about 5
4
days. Yeah,
Let's go.
pretty great. Okay, now I'm gonna let Parker take it from here.
Cool, both Parkers. Let's go, baby. Parker, ×2 teaching tonight. Um, that top producers trip, there's gonna be some really cool promo videos, but there's whisperings of. Are we supposed to say we're doing our top trip yet? Anyway, it's a very cool place. There are elephants there and very, it's
Diego.
Thailand, baby. We're going to Thailand, so. So anyway, be a top 10 rookie, be a top 10 vet this year, and we're doing a full week in Thailand. It's gonna be insane, so. You wanna be there, baby. Just, yeah, if you're married, good incentive to get married. Okay, we're gonna start with this video. I showed this last year, but we got a lot of new reps, and this is a super rad. I love this video and I love this thought. So we're gonna kick it off with this tonight. Tonight we're covering switchovers. We're probably gonna run a little bit long tonight just because our announcements, we had a lot to cover. So anyway, gear up. It's gonna be amazing. We'll bring the heat tonight. We're gonna start with this video.
Needs everything to be perfect to thrive. Needs the right water, right sunlight, needs the right soil content, minerals. It needs to be positioned in the house in just the exact spot, too much sunlight or too little sunlight. And it also needs to be talked to very gently and with tender, loving care. Field corn, on the other hand, you can take a seed of field corn, drop it between a crack and the sidewalk, and it would burrow down for any ounce of energy, and it would rise up in a stalk, wood-like fashion, and just start producing. Literally hundreds, thousands of things come from field corn: cereals, oils, feed for animals. Great. It all it does is produce. What are you? Are you a houseplant or are you field corn? Because we're looking for field corn.
Okay, so who is that? You guys know who that is? 49ers, Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, who's Jim Harbaugh?
He is an evil man.
49ers coach.
No, he's
a
he was the
successful
coach of
football coach.
Michigan.
Yeah,
So,
so he's a successful football coach, and he is talking about the type of people he's looking to recruit. So he's like an amazing recruiter. He's recruited some of the top talent. And so he was talking about the difference between a house plant, and field corn. And I don't know if you could hear that super well, but what was he talking about in terms of the contrast between the two? What is the difference according to him in a house plant versus field corn? Yeah.
One can thrive like anywhere.
Yes. What is that? I don't know. What comes to your mind when you think of that relating to this job?
Through like any situation, like you could thrive, or like you could get through something.
Yes, love that. What else? What else comes to your guys' mind? Yeah.
House plant kind of needs some like babysitting. They need someone to take care of it, but that field corn is just gonna do its thing and be successful wherever it can go.
Yes, love that. So the main thought, just like going into tonight, because I feel like these trainings are obviously very technical, tactical. We're talking about like the what to say, how to say it, all that stuff, right? But just a reminder, like, fall in love with doing hard things. This job is hard. It will make you stretch and grow. There's a lot of rejection. There's sweaty hot days. There's rainy days. There's no soliciting neighborhoods sometimes, and like you get on a Facebook page or something, like negative things just happen. And I promise those people that earn that top trip this year, they will be the people that just are the very best at dealing with adversity. And so I love this idea of like field corn. He talked about how like you could drop the seeds in between like concrete cracks, like not fertile ground at all, right? But it'll just find a way to get in there and just grow and produce and just give. Whereas a house plant's like, I need sunshine and I need, I need my water, I need to be sung to, I need all of that stuff, right? So anyway, I think it's an awesome message. Like, ask yourself, am I acting like a house plant sometimes? Am I a little high maintenance? Do I need all of the things to check out for me to go have a good day? Or can I just be tough and be gritty? And anyway, I like that video. And we're looking for, just like Jim Harbaugh, we're looking for field corn, not house plants. So cool.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we're gonna jump in to the review from the other week with rate card. So this is something that hopefully you're using every single day. If you're not, then there's other things you need to fix before. But this is a very similar rate card to what you're gonna be using in your market. If you're selling Palisade, this is exactly what it's gonna look like. Most of them look pretty identical. The numbers might change depending on the market that you're in, and the color, but, yeah. Cool. Rate card is super simple. I don't like to, overcomplicate it. But maybe if I had a volunteer to read the transition statement for me.
So how it works is we come 4 times a year and we break it up into smaller monthly payments throughout the year. Let me show you how this looks. Step next.
And then a volunteer for present. Thanks. Normally I would need to charge $300 for the initial, but since we're here, I can discount that to just $150. After that, it's just $65 a month. That gets you 4 visits per year and 3 callbacks in between if you notice any pest issues. Cool. And then your soft close, our mornings or evenings typically better for you. Parker would say mornings, say perfect. I just need to get some quick information. How do I spell your last name? And I'll just pull out my phone and start filling out the contract with them.
I'm gonna get a rate card and
Yeah.
that demo.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be sweet.
Sorry.
Most of you guys have probably had an opportunity to train on this last week, right? Hopefully, raise your hand if you trained on rate card last week. Cool. Did you guys have any like roadblocks or questions from your guys' training that you did that you'd like to ask? Yeah. One thing I'll just really quickly hit on, that most like first year reps are probably going to implement, even though it's not written up there, is like the words about or kinda. They'll say, oh yeah, it's about $300. And then after that, it's just a kind of a monthly thing, right? When you guys are talking about people's money, it's just really important to use like absolute verbiage, just so they feel very confident in where that money is going to go. And you say it's about $300, like there's a lot of things that you try to sign up for that also have hidden fees later on. And so if you can give them like a sure thing, it's $300, no hidden fees, like they're gonna feel a lot more comfortable buying from you.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, let me demo this. So, this is gonna be off the back of my inspection. I'm finishing my urgency statement and then I'm gonna show them price, right?
Yep.
So, cool, Parker. So like I said, I'm gonna be here the next day or two anyway. So if you work with me on the timing, then I would love to discount this for you. The way this works is I come 4 times a year and I break it up into monthly payments for you so you can budget for it easier.
Okay.
Let me show you how that works.
Cool.
So usually that first visit is a couple $100. You said your home is 2,000 square feet.
Yep.
So usually it's a couple $100. If I could fit you in, I would do it for just $99.
Okay.
So I would discount it pretty heavily for you.
Cool.
After that, it's just $65 a month.
Yeah.
And that gets you 4 visits a year. And you can call us anytime in between those visits if you see any issues.
Okay.
So we fully guarantee our work.
Nice.
Will you guys be here tomorrow?
Yeah, we should be.
Okay, cool. I just need to grab some information and then I can reserve a slot for you. What's your last name?
You listen.
Go.
Yeah.
And the reason why he said it different than those numbers is because his rate card has numbers that are different, which yours will as well. So just follow the rate card.
Yeah. takeaways on that. So obviously here we're teaching principles. It's not gonna be exactly word for word, but the principle was at a distance, I taught him conceptually that I come 4 times a year and I break it up into monthly payments. Then I close the distance, I get next to him. It's me and him against the bugs, right? So like body language, we're next to each other and I'm using the rate card as a tool out in front and I'm leading his eyes with my finger. Usually the first one's X, but I'll do it for just Y. I'm not saying the word about ever, like Parker said. I'm being really like confident with it, but anyway, maybe 1 or 2 things that like stood out or just takeaways that you guys want to
I do have a question.
Yeah.
So you seem to say like bucks rather than like dollars or like whatever.
Yeah.
Is there a reason behind that?
Bucks sounds cheaper than dollars.
Okay, alright.
So
I
I
assumed it.
sometimes I will do that. I'll say dollars on the first one, then bucks on the second
Okay.
one. So, which I don't think makes a huge difference, but
Okay, I just want.
I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, it's a good question. Like everything matters and details matter, and I probably, yeah, like I could do it for just. Usually it's $300 on the first one. Like I want to make it sound expensive. Usually it's $300 on that first one, but if I could fit you in, I'd do it for just $99.
I got you.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
If they say they're not gonna be there the next day, is that a sign that they're not like interested anymore?
No, not necessarily. No, not necessarily. Usually right there, if they're like, if they say like, I would be interested, but I won't be here tomorrow, that's like a logistical thing, and then we'll just hash that out.
So you wanna keep like just pushing it 2-3 days.
Yeah, I mean, usually we can be creative and do the day after or whatever. I'm trying to do same days or next days, but if it's a logistical thing, then we can work it out. You will get some people that start to, like, that's their way of saying no, and you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
So sometimes it just takes asking a follow-up question and figuring out, like,
Okay.
yeah, but that's a good question.
Do they have to be there like later that day or the next day? Like,
Some of our clients need the customer home for the first visit because they do like a welcome letter with the technician. Some of them don't. So that will be pretty market dependent on if they need to be there or not. But either way, it's a good close. So I like to use, are you guys gonna be here the next day or two? That's like a soft close that I like to use. Some people, an alternative that we have here is do mornings or evenings usually work better for you guys. But either way, your objective there is like, you're testing their temperature on like, how are you feeling about this? Right? That's like why I'm asking that soft close. But yeah, some of the clients, they do need to be home, so it does matter as well. That's a good question. Any other questions on this? Okay, so this is rate card. If you're not comfortable with this, just practice it. It's simple. There's 4 or 5 steps. The sequence matters, the confidence matters. And yeah, anyway. Cool. I can take this one too, then you can go into the next. So this is our new and improved objections PDF. There's probably 12 to 15 total objections, and these are listed at each step in the sale. These are the most common objections that can come. So you're gonna take, our process that we've taught you, empathy, tailored response, close. We've taught you guys this, and we've kind of dug into it. This is pinned in Allpoint Pros, and this is the first page of the PDF. But as you scroll down, it's gonna give a empathy, tailored response, close for every single one of these objections. So it's super smooth, and if you want to make a ton of money this summer, I would memorize these and get really confident with it.
And those are the page numbers where you can find that objection.
And what I will say is in these like formal trainings that we're doing, we're not covering all of this material. So like your spouse objection, when you're closing for a time slot, like we don't cover that, or like the flyer card objection. So we teach you the ones that are gonna push it and like get you sales, but if you want to get more sales, then you're gonna need to know almost all of these like by heart. So spend a lot of time in here. It'll definitely make your summer a whole lot better. So cool. Sweet. We're gonna cover some switchovers tonight. There is kind of a unique mindset for switchovers. So maybe if I have a veteran rep that sold for a while, kind of walk me through like how your mindset has progressed in switchovers. So a few of you. Noah, let's hear Noah. Noah's really good at switchovers. So
my mindset starting was like, oh, they've already got someone, like, they're all set with pest control, like, we're good. Now my mindset is like, they're already used to paying for pest control and they're not getting a good pest control service.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm gonna help them get a better service and provide more value to what they're getting. It doesn't make sense, to pay for pest control and sell bugs.
100%. And I'm sure you sold a lot more switchovers with that new mindset, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think for me, it's all about mindset with switchovers. A couple of things to like note. These people are really qualified and sellable because they're already, like Noah said, they're already budgeting for pest control and they actually already see the value in the pest control service. Like they don't like bugs. And then people are really, really trendy. A lot of times people do like to stick with what the neighbors are doing. And so people do commonly switch pest control companies to get better deals or to get a better service, or they're like dissatisfied with their current group. So there's just a ton of opportunity with it. You'll run into, in all of our markets, you're gonna run into a lot of people that already have pest control companies, which is always a good sign, right? That means that there's bugs where you're at. But the mindset just needs to be like, cool, these people are totally qualified to buy. And then the last thing, you have to be really convicted. Before, like when Noah was selling, he wasn't super convicted that our service was better, right? So he said, sweet, you guys are well taken care of. I'm out of here. I'll go talk to somebody else. But now Noah realizes, like in the market that he's in, our service is better and it's a better value. And so he's actually helping the people. And so he's sold on his service. And so you just need to be really sold on the service and like believe that you can switch them over. So.
Love it. Any questions on that? Sweet. So don't be a robot. Like if I have 20 homes in a row or a bunch of people in a row, like over and over and over again, they're like, I have a service, I have X company. Even like within companies, like you'll have neighborhoods where like a sales rep 3 years ago killed it and sold like 10, 15, 20 homes in a neighborhood. And so you're seeing a pattern of like, oh, there's a lot of people in this neighborhood that have X company, right? So I'm gonna like take that info and use it on my next door. I'm always gathering info, like putting it in my pocket, and then I'm using it on the next door. So, I don't know, situational selling, what do you guys think of when you think of that phrase? Don't be a robot, like why is that so important in selling? Yeah,
Like switching up your pitch a little harder, like if one neighbor you said that like their service doesn't include this, then maybe on your next door. You
yes,
kind of mentioned that, then that might hit a little further.
Yes.
What the other is.
yes, 100%, love that, yeah.
I mean, everyone's different, right? Everyone has different needs. And so you need to know how to adapt to their needs. And exactly as he was saying, like you need to be able to meet those needs.
Yep.
Otherwise, they're not going to want to buy from you.
Yep.
Because, I mean, basically nothing, you're not giving them anything they want.
Yeah. So one of the things I think of when I think of situational selling is, and I'm just gonna kind of speak to this, but we have taught our initial approach, right? And in our normal initial approach, you're using a name drop, which is usually gonna be an actual customer's name or a street name or something. You're gonna then engage the customer. And then there's kind of two paths you can go down. Path one is, the whole like trucks are here, I'm doing the pest control. If I can fit you in, I can treat your home for about half off or for super cheap. And you'll see that pitch on a lot of our slides, right? I tend to love this pitch personally because I tend to never, like if you use this pitch, which is basically the same thing, but the finish is just a little different. Instead of going fit you in discount, you're going trucks are here. I was curious who you guys have doing the home for you for the bugs this year. I like that pitch because I'm never backpedaling ever. Like every single door, I'm casting the net really, really wide. And if they have someone that I'm not backpedaling at all, I'm like preemptively telling them that I belong at their door, right? So if they have someone, I'm basically kind of getting that out of the way as soon as possible. And then if they don't have someone, then it's so easy to transition into the discount, fit you in, half off pitch.
Right.
So, and we're gonna get into kind of like the meat and potatoes of a switchover, but like all summer long, like I'll be in Alabama next week knocking, and my pitch will be, hey, how's it going? Good. I'm doing work for Doug, your neighbor across the street. Has anyone been by to let you know what's going on? No, cool. I do the pest control for him and about 20 others in the neighborhood. I was curious who you guys have coming out this year for the bugs.
Say nobody.
Perfect. That's actually why I'm here. If I can fit you in, my trucks are here, like I said, I can do it for super cheap. But if he has somebody, I'm not backpedaling. I'm like, he's like, oh, I have Aptive. Sweet. That's why I came by. It's smart to have someone and I'm in the game. Does that make sense? So I love this pitch. And this for me is situational selling is all day long. I'm like, I'm ready for it. Like, I'm just kind of like, if you have someone, cool, let's get it out of the way. If not, then I'm gonna go with the discount pitch.
Cool. Yeah, let's cover the switch over pitch. So this is actually from the objections PDF. So this is kind of like the format that you will see on there. And it'll give you a lot of options and like directions that you can actually take it. And you can practice going with different customers so you can be more situational on the doors. All of them are formatted pretty much the same. So you'll have an empathy statement, your tailored response, and then you'll have either a soft close and then a close or just a close. And I think like my 2 cents on that is not always do we need to do a soft close. Sometimes we can move straight to the hard close depending on the customer. Yeah, situational, right? So for example, like just to jump into like if this person said, yeah, I have Aptive and I really hate them, then I probably don't need to go through this whole long cycle with them. I could probably wrap it up pretty quick and get the response that I want.
Which is what? What's the response I want? How much?
How much, right?
Yeah.
Yep. But then if they're like, I have Aptive and I've had them for 10 years and I really like them, it's probably gonna take a little bit more logic for that customer to then change their mind. So I am probably gonna do a little bit more. And so we have options for you to kind of do that and like learn that throughout the summer. But yeah, let's break it down, and kind of go from there.
So like in the empathy section, similar to a DIY, my empathy on a switchover is going to sound very similar to a do-it-yourselfer. It's going to be compliment them on the fact that they have a service, but not compliment them on who they have, right? So like, oh, that's like what the wrong example would be is like, oh, that's awesome. You have Aptive. That was so smart to choose them. You know, that company. They're the best. Yeah, I freaking love Aptive. That's the wrong answer. So the right answer is like, be kind, compliment, but like, on the decision that they made to get a pest service, right? So that's, oh, that's awesome. It's smart to have someone. You gotta have someone in this area with where you live for sure. That's awesome empathy on a switchover, right? So that's kind of the main thought. Empathize, don't validate on a switchover. That's your first move is always empathize.
And then you're going to need to gather just a little bit of information that will help you tailor your tailored response to them. And so you're just gonna ask a couple of qualifying questions. First one, if they haven't told you this already, a lot of people, when you ask the question earlier, they'll say, yeah, I already have somebody I've Aptive, right? So then you already know. But if they haven't told you, then you're gonna ask them, who do you have coming out? They're gonna tell you, and then you're gonna say, great. How long have they been treating your home? And the reason why you're wanting to ask them how long have they had them is pest control companies operate on contracts, right? So when somebody signs up for a service, they have a 1 to 2 year obligation to stay with them. And so you can quickly find out whether or not that person is gonna need to like pay a cancellation fee to join with us. And if they're willing to do that, who knows, you can continue to pursue it and see. But most of the time, yeah, if they're fresh into their contract, they're probably gonna stick it out. And so you just move on to the next people and make deals happen elsewhere.
Yep. Yeah, you could save yourself a lot of time by not like getting in the backyard with someone that just barely signed a contract. So that's, you're like kind of trying to protect your own time here with these questions. So who and how long, those are the 2 questions I'm gonna ask. Then I'm gonna share a really strong statement that tells the customer why people have been switching to me. So I've noticed in doing a lot of role plays lately on switchovers that we're doing a lot of empathy and then just kind of ask questions, and even we'll work some of these questions, these discovery questions. We'll go empathy, qualify, and then we'll just kind of keep asking. We'll start to work into like when you call them out, why did you call them out type stuff. you're only gonna ask 2 qualifying questions, and then you gotta get into your tailored response, which is why people have been switching over to you. Then you're gonna get into like when you called them out, what was it mainly that was for, right? So a really strong statement usually is gonna start with, just so you know, I'm with X company, so I'm with Palisade or Frontline or whatever the client is. I've had a bunch of people this year wanting to try us out and upgrade to us. The main reason why is, and then that's why the who is so important, is like my tailored response is gonna depend on who it is, right? So if it is Aptiv or a big company, then I'm gonna play like the local, family-owned, better reviews, tailored service route. If it is a local company, then I might play, I have more additional services, or you know, some local guys have bad reviews. So like you gotta kind of know your competition, and then you're gonna share really strong logic statements. If you don't fully know, then it's really safe to just say something like this. Just so you know, I'm with Palisade Pest Control. I've had a bunch of people wanting to try us this year. The main reason why is I'm local, and people seem to be getting an amazing bang for their buck with us servicing their home versus their other company. And I'm doing it for an awesome price. And so if you wanted to try something different this year, I'd be willing to do it for super cheap.
Okay.
Or discovery question. So when you called out X company, what was it mainly that you called them out for?
Mainly just like little ants around the foundation.
Cool. And now we're in a conversation about ants to try to get to a close.
So, what I like to do is to get the how much with the least amount of effort I have to put in, right? Like my effort, I'm working all day long, and if I can make things a little shorter and easier for myself, I'm always gonna go that route than like do this super long thing that takes more time and effort from me, right? So a lot of times when I'm doing this, right here where I'm saying, you know, better bang for your buck, I'll say, yeah, if you wanna give us a trial, I'll do it for half off. If they don't give me my response, then I fall back on these questions here. So a couple of these questions: what made you want to get pest control? When they come out, do they just knock down the webs, or do they treat the yard? You're just trying to discover exactly what that company is doing. Typically halfway through the summer or more, or even earlier, you're probably gonna know what those companies do, right? So it's mainly just to keep the customer engaged and find out like their interest level and where they're kind of at with their current company.
Which I'll just cut in, that's a big reason why we do those morning meetings, is like, this is an individual sport, but you have teammates and you get to use each other in the morning to bounce ideas. Like, I sold a switchover yesterday, I sold a Rumble account, and the reason why I sold it is they weren't doing the spiders very well, and the customer was ticked off or whatever, right? Like, you're gonna gather that info all morning long, all summer long, and then have really awesome like ideas to ask questions about our customers about me.
And so, yeah, so going off that information, like something that would happen if I asked Parker, say he has Aptiv, I say, what did you call Aptiv out for?
You know, they actually came by my house, and we started because we were seeing some spiders.
Okay. And do they mainly just like do the doors and windows for the spiders, or are they like touching stuff there?
They do the outside, they don't come inside, and I don't think they do anything up top.
Okay. Yeah, well, a lot of the neighbors have really loved us. Like I said, we're local, and so we just have a better feel for how the spiders work out here.
Mhm.
So a lot of times what we'll actually do is take a big brush, and I'll kind of go through our service at that point and like explain why we're better. And then I'm gonna go ahead and move into kind of like our soft close. So yeah, a lot of the neighbors have liked it because we're local. We do a couple of those different things, and it's made sense to them because it's super cheap.
Love it. So maybe one of our last thoughts on switchovers is that sometimes it's simple, and you just kind of you can share a really awesome logic statement, try for the how much, and they'll give it to you, and you're in their backyard, and you didn't have to get into a whole lot of detail yet, right? Sometimes they're a little bit more resistant, and you have to do some like discovery questions and try to kind of build some need, value, and urgency. So normally on an inspection is where we're building need, value, and urgency, right? On any other type of customer. Sometimes on a switchover, you have to get into need, value, and urgency a little bit more on the porch, because in their mind, they already have the need satisfied. So you have to, that's why these discovery questions kind of come in. These discovery questions are going to sound really similar to those need questions that you're going to ask on your inspection on most other types of customers,
You
right?
still do an inspection with the switchover?
Yeah, usually, yeah. Usually you're still doing an inspection with the switchover. Once you hear the how much and they bite on the how much, then you're trying to get them off their porch to get them in their backyard or out in the yard with you. Because their walls will come down when you're on like a formal switchover or a formal inspection. So I'm still trying to do an inspection with them. But I have to sometimes get into like these discovery, this feels a little bit like an inspection right here, this need value urgency piece, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I will say, like, doing an inspection on a switchover is awesome. And there is a little bit of a different technique that you'll learn while doing that, but, nothing puts like the nail in the coffin more than seeing an ant trail still going up underneath their siding on their house or seeing a bunch of webs on their.
On a
like,
switchover, it's
On a
like,
switchover, they see that and they're like, oh, my company's not doing anything, right? Like, really clicks for them of like, okay, I need to try something different,
Yeah.
right? So they're really useful in that sense, and so obviously the whole goal is to get that how much while you're on the front door and take, let their guard
Yeah.
down.
So we're gonna demo this.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we'll demo this and kind of go through from the, let's just start with the very top of a switchover. And we'll even do kind of some inspection, like we'll go deep into this all the way to rate card.
Yeah,
That's
let's do
cool.
it. Yeah.
So we're gonna use this as a way to like show a full sale, basically.
Okay.
This will be like a 5-minute demo. Do you want me to do it or do you want to do it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanna see.
That's
it.
good. All right.
I'll be our favorite company active.
Okay, love it. Sounds good. Okay, here we go.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. Hey, I'm Parker. I'm gonna be doing work for Doug and Bob and a couple of your neighbors here.
Okay.
Have any of them told you about me or what we're doing?
No, nobody's let me know.
Awesome. I do the pest control for a bunch of these homes here. I
Oh,
was curious who you guys have doing that for you.
okay. Yeah, no, I'm well taken care of, man. Thank you.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, no worries. You gotta have someone out here for sure for the bugs. So, do you mind me asking who does the home?
Yeah, we have, I think Active.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
awesome.
think that's
Like I
what it
said,
was.
you gotta have someone out here that's smart. So,
Okay.
have they been doing it for a while?
Yeah, I think they've, been around for like the last 3 years or so. I haven't paid a ton of attention.
Yeah, no worries. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, just something to think about. So I'm with Palisade. We're a local group. So I've had a couple of these guys wanting to try us this year, mainly because it's more kind of tailored to this area.
Okay.
And they're getting a little bit more bang for their buck in terms of like what they're paying for. When you called them out or when they came by, was it mainly just prevention work or what was it for?
Yeah, it was, a little bit of prevention, but we were seeing those like little black ants.
Yeah.
Around, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we do those, we do the ants, and then I think there's some additional things I'd be able to do, and honestly, probably for, like, the best part with me is the price.
Okay.
If I could fit you in while I'm doing a bunch of homes here, I would be able to do it for about half my normal cost.
Okay. Like what's your price point look like?
What's the square footage of the house?
It's like 2,400 square feet.
Okay, perfect. I would just need to do a quick inspection around the outside of the home for you, and then I can give you a free quote.
Okay.
Do you have a gate on either side?
Yeah, just on the left here.
Okay, I'll, go out there. If you wanna just meet me in the back, and I'll just show you what we do, and I'll give you a quote.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay, so like my mindset walking into the backyard is, I'm using all the info that I just got, right? So he has active, 3 years. Is he like super involved in his pest company? Like, does he know a ton about, not really, right? Like, he's kind of like a passive pest. Like they're doing it. He's a passive pest. Yeah, he's, which can be a good and a bad thing. We'll see.
Yeah.
This guy, but like, trying to think, what other info do I have with this guy?
Ants.
Yeah, he had some ants. That's why they maybe initially called them out. So yeah, I'm like using my senses as I'm walking. If I see an ant trail or whatever, like I'm for sure gonna highlight that. So
Cool.
anyway, cool. I'm Parker, by the way.
Nice to meet you. I'm Parker as well.
Awesome. How long have you guys been in the house, Parker?
About 7 years.
Okay, awesome, man. It's a great neighborhood.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. A lot of nice neighbors. I don't know if you met.
Yeah, we're here pretty often.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah, I really like a lot of your neighbors. They're really great people. So,
Nice, yeah.
and then you've had it done for 3 years by Aptive. Did you guys have another company before that for the bugs or?
I think we did. I can't really remember there.
Okay, yeah, all good, no problem. Well, so I know mainly the ants is why you called them out initially. I was kind of just looking around the foundation here. There are like a couple like 1s and 2s. You can see a couple
Oh, yeah.
ants here and there.
Yeah, we still see them pop up inside every once in a while.
Okay, yeah. So you see them on the inside as well or just outside?
Inside.
Okay,
Yeah, more inside than outside.
really? Cool. Well, that's a lot of these guys that have been wanting to try us, they've noticed that, like I said, kind of on the porch, that they're just seeing less pest activity with us. Mainly because we're local here, it's a little bit more tailored to this area. And so they're just seeing less pest activity. It's made a big difference for that. So for the ants, we treat 3 feet up and 3 feet out around the whole perimeter. And our product, they don't know it's on their body. They take it on their body and it gets to all the queens and it just like flushes everything out. Makes a huge difference.
Okay.
And then I know the ants are the main thing for you, but I would do the cobwebs,
Oh, really?
the prevention up top as well around the lights. And we do the wasp prevention. And then I do the yard as well, for the granulation.
Yeah, does the yard cost more? I would definitely want the eaves done.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm always pressure washing.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, what's nice with ours is if you can pressure wash it and it won't like take the water off the house, like it just basically, water helps our product break down.
Okay,
So it works really good with water.
okay.
But, yeah, and then we do the yard as well for you.
Oh, cool.
So anyway, I come 4 times a year. I guarantee my work. And I know you've had them for a while now, but if you'd work with me and give me a shot and kind of work with me on the timing, then I would be way competitive on the price point for sure. So I come 4 times a year and I break it up into just little monthly payments so you can budget for it easier.
Yeah.
Are they coming quarterly for you or?
Yes, I think they're treating quarterly on our home and we pay quarterly.
Okay, when was the last time they were out?
I don't know, probably just about due. Was it
Okay.
March right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're probably about to do the spring service.
Cool, that's sweet. Well, my ears were burning, that's why I came
Yeah.
by your
Yeah,
house,
I
so,
thought-
sweet. Well, let's look at this and see if it makes sense for you. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be here anyway the next day or two. And, yeah, I'd love to earn your business, so that first one's usually a couple $100.
Okay,
So it's usually like $300 dollars on that first one.
okay.
But if I could fit you in, I would do it for just the $99.
Oh, okay,
I'd take a big discount on that first one. And then after that, it's just $65.
okay,
And that's a monthly, that gets you 4 visits a year. And
okay,
again, you can call us anytime throughout the year if you need us.
okay.
So you guys, will you be here the next day or two?
Yeah, well, either me or my wife will be around.
Okay, yeah, I would just grab some info and then if you're good with that, we'll get you set up and I'll probably have him do your house in the next day or two.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sweet.
Well, that's awesome. Knock the rest off, Parker.
Yeah.
But what'd you guys like about what Parker did or anything that stood out to you guys? Takeaways?
He's not affected by, he knows what he's doing. He's very confident. He's very relaxed and so.
On kind of that topic that Carter said, just speaking so slow. Like it's really making sure to emphasize everything, that he's not mumbling over words. It's massive. I had a big problem with that my first year. Parker just kills it on that aspect.
Thanks.
I have more of a question.
Yeah.
Obviously on switchovers, using the soft close of like the point of the price is good. But what if we say it's like super cheap or half off, but then the other company is cheaper than ours?
Yeah. Yeah, you wanna be careful with that. It's a really good thought.
So what I like to do is instead of saying price, I usually say value, right? So, or at least right here. So instead of saying for a much better price, I'm gonna say actually do it for much better value. And that way it's not necessarily like a price thing, it's more of like a service thing. And then when they get the backyard, we're talking more about service than price. So, and then, yeah, they are gonna need to ask you how much, so you can still tell them it's half off, because it is gonna be half off our pricing, whatever the other company says, whatever, but when you get them talking about the service, that's when it won't be about price anymore.
Yeah, some of it too is knowing who they have, because there's
Yeah.
some companies that are just by nature gonna be super pricey. And then some like Ma and Pa guys that we're just gonna be more than most of the time. So you gotta be really careful saying like, I'll save you money or I'll be way competitive on my price. If it's like a Joe's Pest Control, you're probably gonna be like more than him. So you're gonna have to sell on value a lot. So like on my inspection, when I'm out in the backyard, I'm gonna like, if I can find a couple things in terms of like extra value, maybe I can bundle mosquito and try to build some value in that. And then I might even just like straight up tell them before price, like, hey, this is probably gonna be a little bit pricier, but I think there's some things that we've discovered here that would be really helpful for you and probably worth a little bit extra. So let me show you what this looks like. And based off my normal price, this is super discounted because I'm gonna do yours while I'm doing all my other customers and put you on the same schedule as all of them.
Okay,
So like, it's always a discount internally,
right.
but like comparing it to the next company depends on who it is, for sure.
Okay.
So good question.
Malia, did you have a comment?
Yeah, so I really like how Parker would reset, if he ever got a no, he'd ask a question that would make sure he got a yes. Cause like hearing no constantly, like really puts him in a hole, but whenever you can funnel your questions to be yes, 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 that'll broaden your perspective and get you like more on the same page.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, building the yes accounts, like there's like, getting deposits throughout the conversation is really good in sales, like that. Okay, maybe one or two more, just I don't know, anything that stood out. Yeah, Jamie.
I like you got like the necessary information about his current company, but not enough to validate anything or make him like think a ton about his company.
Yeah,
'Cause I've definitely made that mistake where I just ask like a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
about it.
yeah. Yeah, sometimes too much talking in general, or too much info sharing in general makes this transaction feel like a bigger deal than it needs to be. Right? Like pest control is freaking cheap, it's simple, it's a 1-year commitment, like it's not a big deal, and so like I loved Parker's thought earlier of like, how do I sell this thing with using the least amount of words possible? Because like, it's just gonna feel the right way, it's gonna feel confident. That way, sometimes people, they wanna share every single thing about our scope of service, or they wanna know every single thing about the other company, what they're doing before they get into their rate card, but I don't know, it's like he or she who talks less wins, And so I think that's a super important thing for me in my selling style. So, yeah, there.
So my natural next thought, I know we're gonna get to this later, but it might be, have some value to just addressing it now, but my next thought was then, he agreed to it,
Yeah,
but he's gonna have to cancel his service.
yep,
And so, how do you get to that topic?
yeah.
You do it right then?
Nope, not yet. So I don't wanna make it. That's a really good question and it's right on time. So he's committed to me. I want, like, my vibe is like, this is so easy to cancel. Like, that's a confidence that I want to give off. And if he asks about it, which sometimes that will be an objection at the very end, they'll say like, well, I gotta talk to my company first and I need to, I need to check if I'm in a contract, right? That's why I just need to be an educated professional, and on the porch, I qualified him, and, he's been with them for 3 years, so I know he's not in a contract with them, right? So if he's like, I need to check if I'm in a contract, that's an objection, and I'm gonna empathize totally, I hear that. Just so you know, pest companies do 1-year agreements, and so you're totally fine, you're just on a service to service basis with those guys.
Okay.
As of right now. I've been in this industry a while, and that's for sure the case with them. Obviously, like, you can talk to them and you should talk to them, but we're happy to get you started with us while I'm doing these other houses. And in terms of canceling, I'll just tell customers, it's really easy to cancel the service. Like, it's literally us showing up next quarter instead of them, different truck. There's no like equipment in your home or anything scary that you have to worry about. You place a phone call, tell them that you want to switch companies. There's no cancel fee. Whoop-de-doo. So you have to say it that confidently and that simply. And there will be some customers that like want to go down that path and talk about that for sure. So I'm glad that you brought that up. The actual execution of how to cancel their service. Some people want to get on a phone call with their company, like right there with you before like you do your job. Our best case, your best case, like your plan A is get the deal in the ground. They're not in an agreement. Get the tech to come that day or the next day, get your job serviced, because there's obviously like, once their job is serviced, they can still they have 3 days to cancel and not have any penalty if they switch to you. But psychologically, there's a ton of power in like, they met your technician, they had a good interaction, they got the service rendered, they liked you, and so like they're kind of married to it now, so that when they call their company, the deal's done, right? They're not like in this window where they're like going back and forth and shopping us versus them. So I want to get the job serviced ASAP, and I'd love to get it serviced before they even talk to their company. And it's fully ethical. Like they're out of agreement. Every company does 1-year deals. There's some that do 2, and your managers will teach you if that's one of those companies that might do a 2-year contract. And if it's in kind of that tight window, then you might need to get on the phone call with their company with them and check if they're in an agreement. So situational selling, like there's a lot of situations that switchovers can kind of bring up. My go-to, my plan A is I love knowing what the email is for their account with their company and to basically say, hey, I, Bob Jones, at this address, as of today, I'm terminating my agreement with you. No questions asked, like deuces. Thank you for the service, you know. Email's awesome because then I'm not dealing with some retention team from their company trying to save the account, price drop them, talk poorly about our company because we door knock. Like there's a lot of local guys that like they'll do that. They'll like their retention teams trains their customers like, oh, they're door knockers, like they're doing it unethically, da 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 da. So it's just better to communicate over email if you can control the message. Some customers will want to get on the phone with their company, and that's okay. I would just try my best to kind of coach them preemptively and tell them like, hey, they may try to save, you know, they want your business, they may try to save your account. We would love a shot. Like we would love a shot to earn your business, and that's all I can ask for is a shot. And even just that line saying that before they get on the phone with their company, a lot of times like they'll be like, I appreciate that, I respect that. And I've been in thousands of houses where they're like, the customer retention team tries to save them with me there in their house, like waiting. And they're like, no, I'm gonna give this kid a shot. I appreciate you trying to be competitive on price, but like I'm good. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Diggy, do you have a thought? And Parker, I want you.
Yeah, I just kind of want to emphasize the telling them beforehand what'll happen.
Yeah.
In our mission, we call it a vaccine. And you're giving them a little shot of what's gonna happen, that flu that's gonna hit.
Yeah.
So we would tell people like, hey, you're gonna wake up tired on Sunday, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And when they wake up tired, they're like, holy crap, that wizard just told me that it happened.
Yeah.
And they're locked in.
Yeah.
So same thing goes for sales, like if you tell them, cool, like they're gonna say ABC, when they hear it, they're, oh, the loyalty
Confirms.
switches. The vaccine kicks them.
Love that.
That's exactly what we said this morning.
Yeah. This is a different topic, but like I love that thought for setting expectations before I leave their house as well, guys. Of like, hey, you may see a little bit of pest activity. If you do, you're welcome to call us, but like it's not the end of the world if you see some bugs. Like little lines like that to protect yourself against cancels or frustrated customers. I love that thought of like I'm like vaccinating them because if I don't say it, I'm in trouble. If I do say it, then I'm like a master that predicting the future, you know?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Every time that customer's gonna call to cancel, they're gonna get a price drop 100%. And so you might as well tell them and delete it. One reason why I do like the email idea more than the calling while I'm there is just my time efficiency
Yes.
on the doors. So I've obviously been in 1,000+ homes or whatever, and I'll sit on the phone for 30 minutes waiting for that retention team to finally answer the phone to then try to lower the price of that customer. And you just end up wasting a ton of time where maybe in that 30 minutes, instead of getting this one deal that might not go through because they might be in contract or whatever, I could have gone and made maybe 2 deals in that last 30 minutes, right? So it's just really efficient. You say, cool, I'm gonna text you over what to email them, and then you send them the text with the pre-made message for whatever company it is.
Which
And then-
we will provide some
Yeah,
this year.
us as managers will have that for you, so you'll be able to say like, oh, cool, I'm just gonna send this to you, just put their name in it for them and the company, send it to them, and all they have to do is copy and paste, you know, makes it really
To their email, send it to their company.
Yeah, so you'll send it over to them, they can send it to the company, and then you can close that deal and leave instead of sitting there for another 30 to 45 minutes on hold with this company that you're trying to cancel. And a lot of people, yeah, when they get service that next day, they feel that pressure of like, okay, now I really need to go and cancel with this company. They're gonna do it. And if they don't, then they'll probably just get double charged. So they're definitely gonna want to do it.
Yeah, and you just tell people like, hey, I don't want you paying for 2 companies, so like cancel with them. We can get you service tomorrow. I would call them tomorrow after we're done, and like it's easy.
Yep.
So anyway, any questions on that? There's some nuances with this. It's not that complicated. Some switchovers are like so easy. Like they're the easiest sales you'll have all summer. Like they're like, I hate my guy. He's weird. Sign me up. You know, like or
He was looking at my windows.
yeah,
Out there,
yeah.
stealing packages off my porch.
Yeah, like you'll have some of those switchovers that are the easiest sales of the summer. Some will be difficult. They're higher hanging fruit. They're kind of like, I don't know, the urgency thing. They were just here 1 month ago, so I don't want to pay for pest control again. So you're having to do some pretty hard like empathy. Like I get that, totally hear that. I know it's not perfect timing, but like, I would love to put you on the schedule with my customers, and if you're willing to do that, then I would be willing to do X in value or Y in price or whatever, right? So, any questions on switchovers? Yeah,
So if they had just like service a week ago,
Yes.
just like,
high hanging fruit, tough, but it's been done. We've had it, we've had like today serviced, like, yes, which are some savage sales,
do
but
you
like,
still have the right to come to this break?
yes. Yes, because our message is like, we wanna get you on our schedule, and there's a little bit of like, we trust our service and our process way better than whatever was being done before, especially if they're seeing bugs, right? So like, you'll sell switchovers sometimes where they were just done a week ago, but they're like seeing a lot of bugs. And so those can be actually pretty easy ones. It's a good question to ask in the backyard though, is like, when was the last time they were out? And then when I go into my urgency, when I'm trying to prep them for rate card, I'm gonna like speak to that, just take it head on, right? Like, hey, I know they were here just a week ago, but like, if you worked with me on the timing, I'll play ball and price. Let me show you what this would look like, right? So yes, it can happen.
Yeah, another
Those
note
are
on
fun
that,
ones.
and another note on that, maybe like an angle that I'll take as well, like after I've heard that maybe their service was pretty frequent or,
Recent.
that's the word I'm looking for. I'll talk about the differences in the service and how that's gonna help them in the coming season, right? So it's like, cool, it's spring right now and you just got treated for ants, that's awesome, but we're almost into summer and you know the wasps are gonna show up and they didn't treat your eaves, right? So it's gonna be important for us to get that product up underneath the eaves before the summer, or else you're gonna deal with the wasps still, right? And so you can kind of find, it depends on the company, you know, what was done and what wasn't, but that's always like a good angle to take with those customers,
Yeah,
so.
really good.
Any other questions?
Those are good questions though, like
Yeah.
way good questions. Maybe we'll finish with this thought, like, and I've kind of shared this, but like, if you want to sell one a day, then you'll kind of just like not overcome objections, do the pitch, and find that one person every day that has ants in their kitchen, or they have spiders in their basement, or they have wasps all over the place. Like, you will find that person if you just work hard. To sell multiple a day, like these types of little like nuanced one-liners, or like learning how to do switchovers, like it's a really big deal. And some of our the reps that are in Thailand or whatever, like our top reps, they have all, they can kind of get it all, right? They can capture the switchover from this company and that company, and they can do the DIY person. And so you're gonna have a way wide variety of types of sales if you're a really good rep, right? I would really caution you guys to not fall into the trap this summer of even hearing yourself say like, I suck at switchovers, right? Like, cause your identity, you start to believe that, or like, I never ever sell DIY, or I love new move-ins, but I can't sell anyone that's been there for 5 years. It's like, you're literally like shooting yourself in the foot every time you tell yourself something like that. Because basically what you're saying, what I hear you say when you're saying that is like, I'm a one-a-day rep. And that's depressing, right? Like, so if you want to be a one-a-day rep, then you can hear yourself just say that over and over again. But if you want to level up and not be a one-a-day rep or a two-a-day rep, then you gotta go learn skills like switchovers, and you gotta go fall in love with that objection sheet and all that stuff. So anyway, any questions on that or thoughts on that before closing tonight?
I do have one.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like about like the price.
Yeah.
So you are catering like how much you're gonna charge them to the person.
Yeah.
So you're going from 300 to 99. Like, what makes you think, 99 rather than just 150? Or like,
Yeah.
how do you gauge that? I mean, you guys are more experienced.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, like, so price is based off of square footage of their home, so size of home does matter, and then the package that you sell, so what you're bundling it with matters. And this year you'll sell general pest control, you'll bundle mosquito in some cases, you can bundle termite in some cases. So that, there are minimum floors that you have to stay above if you're doing GPC or mosquito or termite. So it's like you won't get paid if it's like less than a certain number type thing. So you'll know what that minimum is in your head going into every type of customer.
And the rate card will help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then above and beyond that, dude, like it is about selling on value. And like we have some reps, I shared that concept of Noah there's reps in here that were really good at selling bundles and extracting value last year. Noah was great. Joe was really good. We called Joe Mosquito Joe last summer because he was always selling mosquito bundles. And honestly, some reps have bad habits and they go to the floor. Like, and some are really, they're a lot better at like selling high contract values.
Yep.
And so contract values is a really easy way to make a lot more money. And one last thought I heard recently from a guy named Alex Ramosi, who I think is really smart, and he's like a guy I follow online, but he said a lot of bad salespeople sell out of their own pocket, meaning you're broke, college kids, most of you. So therefore you think that the guy that lives in a $2 million house in New Hampshire is broke. He's not broke, dude. Like, he's got a ton of money, and $100 a month is literally like, he steps on that. Like, he doesn't care, you know?
Yeah.
So don't sell out of your own pocket. Even people in like middle income America that own their own home and stuff, like $50 a month or $70 a month, whatever it is. Like, so don't sell out of your own pocket when it comes to price. Sell out of their pocket.
Yep.
That's what the best salespeople do. So
Okay.
Good thoughts. Okay, we'll finish with that. Love you guys.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.